Alrighty, y'all. Let's get this cabbage cooked up. So, starting out, we're going to chop us up an onion. And I just chop mine, kind of into medium-sized pieces, I guess, because it's going to cook way down, as the cabbage cooks. So, I just try to not cut them up too small because I don't want them to disappear. Now, if you don't care for big hunks of onion, then you can cut them up really small, and then you won't even really see them in there. You won't even notice that they're in there. But just the onion adds so much flavor to this, so I wouldn't leave it out completely. Even if you're not a big fan of onion, just cut it up really small, and then you'll get the flavor, but you won't necessarily get the big chunks. So once I got my onion all chopped up, I'm gonna sit it over to the side so we can get our cabbage all chopped up. Now, this is a big old head of cabbage, and I just pull a few outer, leaves. Look, there's a whole bush left over. But I just pull the outer leaves off because usually they have like that, like the little brown edges and stuff, and I don't want to eat that. So I just pull those layers off, and I'm going to get it chopped up into kind of like bite-sized pieces. Because the same thing kind of with the onion, we're going to cook this way down. So if you chop it up too small, it's just going to kind of disappear and become mush. So you want to make sure, that you don't cut it up too small. But we do want it in bite-sized pieces. So, you'll see in a minute how the size of how I cut mine up. And I just put mine over into my salad spinner because, for one, you want to get it clean because anything like this that has these layers of leaves in it, it gets dirty, y'all. They'll be all, well, you saw the bush I pulled out of there when I was cutting it. It's, you just want to make sure you get this real clean because it's a lot of times it's dirt and stuff down in there. So just chop it up. You see those, the size pieces that I'm cutting there. And then we're going to get it over here, get it washed up real good. And then like I said, I put it in my salad spinner because then I like to spin it down to get as much of the water out of there as I can. Because as you cook that cabbage, it's going to render off some water anyway. And I don't like any extra, like in this, particular recipe, I don't want any extra like water. So we're going to go ahead at this point and get our bacon all chopped up. Now, this is just a regular size pack of bacon, and you can use whatever kind of bacon that you want. If you like, the different smokes or whatever on your bacon, use whatever you have. It's not going to make a difference. I just don't know if I would use like turkey bacon because you're going to need the grease off of the bacon to cook cabbage in. So I haven't tried it with turkey bacon. Maybe I will one day because I do like turkey bacon. But anyway, we're going to get our bacon chopped up into these little bite-sized pieces. And y'all don't worry about me touching everything. My hands are clean, for one. And also, I'm only cooking for my kids. And I've been touching their food for years, y'all. So they don't mind. So once you get your bacon and everything all chopped up, I get out my cast iron Dutch oven. Because I just really like it, holds the heat really good. So I go ahead, and you don't have to pull each individual piece of your bacon apart, but I try to at least, pull a little bit of it apart. It's gonna come apart as it cooks down, but I don't like to start out with just like a huge, like one hunk of bacon as I start. I don't know. It doesn't really make a difference, I guess, but this is just how I do it, y'all. So I just kind of get my bacon mixed around a little bit, and then I'm going to add my onion over in there. And then we're going to cook this. And I've got it over probably a medium-high heat right now just to get that bacon and onion cooked. And I'm going to cook that down until that bacon is crispy because we already know I don't like chewy bacon. So, and it's really, when you get a bite of bacon, for me, if I'm cooking something like this and I get a bite of bacon, I want it to taste like bacon. I don't want it to be like a little piece of fatty mush. So anyway, once I get my bacon and my onions done, and this is just, you don't have to do this, but I feel like it works better. So I take it out and put it in a bowl, and don't worry if you don't get every single piece. You see I leave some pieces in there. But we have so much cabbage going in here that I try to just get that out so I can make sure that my cabbage gets coated really good in that bacon grease. Because you'll see, as I add the rest of the cabbage, it's a lot of cabbage, y'all. But like I said, it's gonna cook way, way, way down. So it just, starting out, this is how we do it. It's just a big old pot of cabbage. So as I stir it, I'm just really, really careful, and I go down to the bottom and then just kind of twist it, turn it up, and you'll see there's cabbage falling out and everything. I just pick it up, put it back in there. But you just want to stir this around until everything is coated. You see, as I, pull my spoon up from the bottom, you see those pieces are now coated. So just stir it around until everything is coated real good. And you'll see, as I'm just sitting here stirring this, you'll see how it's already starting to, to cook down. See, it's, part way down the pot already. So it cooks down pretty quick. So at this point in the process, once I've added my cabbage, I turn my heat down to probably a medium low, kind of closer to low. And then I just mix everything together. And then at this point, I'm going to go ahead, once I've gotten my cabbage all good and coated with that bacon, the bacon fat, I go ahead and add my seasonings. Now, I use Tony's in mine. You can use whatever seasoning you like to use. If you have a different kind of Cajun or Creole seasoning you use, or if you don't like that and you want to use something different, you can use whatever you want. And I also did add a little salt and pepper to this, and I think I cut it out of the video. But just be real careful with your salt, because remember, you have a whole pack of bacon in here, and bacon tends to be, pretty salty just all on its own. So just kind of be careful with that. So once I get my seasonings in, I go ahead and add my bacon and my onions back in, and then just get it stirred around. Then I put my lid on, and I just let it cook. And every few minutes, I, open it up, and you see I'm scraping all that good stuff up off the bottom, because as that liquid, comes out of that cabbage, it'll let you get that good stuff scraped off the bottom. So I probably cooked this for a total of about 30 minutes. Like I said, kind of, on a medium low, and just put the lid on, and every few minutes, open it up, stir it around until you get it cooked to the consistency that you want. And now, I don't like mine cooked to a super, super mushy consistency. I like mine to have still a little bit of, bite to it. So you just cook it to the level of, doneness that you like it to be. But this is it, y'all. It is so delicious. And like I said, we cook this on New Year's because this is our greens for New Year's. But you can cook this anytime and have this. It is super, super delicious. Even the kids like it. So make sure that you give it a try and just, add a little something different to your rotation, y'all.